What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Rumble subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at again with another episode of the Young Guns podcast. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? First one of the year where we have a win to discuss. First of all, more shots, everybody in the chat. See a good amount of people in here. Levance, Jaden the Champ, Silo Ren, Sober Party, Zach, Edward Chan, Simon Z, Super Taj World, Nikki Sav, Rivals. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing? Of course, with the weekly, we'll wait for KB to pop in. Just go ahead, tag that man multiple times on Twitter and be like, where you at? For those of you that don't know, he does have like his football practices the same night as we do Young Guns, so he usually gets home and then gets right in the studio and then pops in right here. What up, Ash Money? How you doing as well? Go over there, check out his channel, sub him up. But guys, it's about that time of the week where we kind of shift from celebration to preparation. You know, it's Wednesday, it's right there, smack dab in the middle. You had Monday, Tuesday, and all of Wednesday basically to celebrate. Now it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to prepare ourselves for what is the Dallas Cowboys coming up as our next matchup. And there he is. What up, KB?
Yo.
How you doing, man? Chat, you already know. Down in the description, go over to him, sub him up, share the stream, like it up. What's up, y'all? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Just try to rush over here, but yeah. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. I already told him. Now, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Still off this high from the win, this victory high. Feels very
How's
good.
your
Very
week been?
unexpected win.
How's your week been off of that win, bro?
It's been pleasant thinking about the Giants. Let's just say that. Like
Oh,
it's just
word?
been pleasant thinking about possibilities and where we're going from here. Not just like complete torment and staring down 0-4. So at least we're not that.
Sedan Smith in here as well. Football talk with Benny. What's up, man? Kyle Cruz. Yo, Ash is hilarious. He says he's still waiting for the Kadarius Tony hater to pop back up. He says I ain't forget. Well, are you sure it's the Kadarius Tony hater or the Daniel Jones hater? Maybe it was the same too. It's Sajid. Listen, Ash, you're in the Discord. Just go in the Discord and tag him and be like, yo, I don't see you in the YouTube chat anymore, bro. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Kyle
Mm.
Cruz, I don't know, man. He already starting off with Giants losing to the Cowboys, unfortunately. Listen, before we get into that, we are going to do a quick recap, of course, of the
Hmm.
Saints game, and then we'll switch into the Cowboys game. Because like I said, we're in the middle of the week. It's about that time where the transition happens, where we got to start thinking about the next opponent. But, I mean, where do you want to start with the Saints game, man? Do we start with Daniel, career high, basically a career game, 402 yards. They
Yep.
gave him the touchdown to John Ross, so 2 passing touchdowns, interception. He also had a 2-point conversion, the run-in 2-point conversion. Do you want to start with anybody else? Offense, defense? What are you thinking?
I guess we start off with Daniel Jones being that, I mean, he is, supposed to be the leader of this team. He did a fantastic job. I mean, like, I'm already sold, and you guys heard it. I think I said at the end of that stream, I'm already sold. Daniel Jones is our franchise guy. We just have to build around. Like I'm already sold. He's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that getting that production out of him requires us to, build around him, produce around him. That offensive line needs to be working well. Obviously, he's not a Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson. He's not that, and people think that franchise quarterbacks need to be that. Like they need to be elite. That's not it whatsoever. He's just not a guy that you really can, you can produce wins with him not having the right personnel around him. He's got to have that offensive line working right, and you've seen it. The offensive line doesn't need flashy players, right? That offensive line is beat up on paper, and it performed. It's the best it's ever been against the Saints. So you just need guys to execute, and Daniel Jones said that same thing in the press conferences, regarding Jason Garrett's scheme. But it kind of applies to everything. It's not really scheme; it's all about execution. So as long as they execute, I mean, Daniel Jones is the franchise guy. 402 yards, 28 out of 40, four touchdowns this year, 1 interception. It really doesn't even count. I hate to play hypotheticals here, but I mean, he just
I
threw
mean,
that
no,
up
everybody
because
did
it
it
was
with
the
week 1 Brady with his end of the half interception because it was a Hail Mary trying to get something.
right, right. So I mean, it is what it is. But put all that aside, if people can see what Daniel Jones is doing right now, I think that most of them would agree that Daniel Jones really has not just shown flashes at this point. I mean, it's been
For the
4 games. He's
2021
had really
season, I
good
don't think
games.
it's flashes. I think he's just
Right.
shown, like
He's
he's just
just
shown it, a
showing that
light,
he's growing.
whatever you
This
want to
is
call it.
the third year for quarterbacks is really make or break. If you see at any quarterback, you look at Eli Manning, his third year, he started going off as well, and I think the third year he won the Super Bowl. So
Wasn't that the fourth?
he started 2004 season, so 2004, 2005, 2006. Okay, that was his fourth season. But around his third season, when it was really make or break for him, and he wound up doing well. I mean, Josh Allen, the same thing. We compared a lot in the offseason, to how Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. We compared that to Daniel Jones and Kenny Galladay. The third year is really important for these quarterbacks, and it really is make or break. So I'm very happy that Daniel Jones made it instead of breaking it. But really excited about Daniel Jones, man. This game just proved it. And to anybody that were doubters of him, whether it be Giants fans or NFL fans, because now everybody's talking about Daniel Jones. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm seeing it on ESPN, and I'm not like hating on the Giants. Like, they're talking about Daniel Jones in a good way. Dan Orlovsky is like gushing over Daniel Jones when he hated him during the draft. You look at guys like Zach Schaumler of Strong Opinion Sports, a podcast I like to listen into. He really is buying into Daniel Jones. I mean, everybody now after this Saints game is buying into Daniel Jones, and I'm here for it. And I don't think Daniel Jones is going to disappoint. I think this is only the beginning.
Once again, shout out to anybody that's tuning in. We got Levance, Kyle Cruz, Lord Commander Manny, all the way from Port St. Lucie. I think I already said what's up to Taj. Luan in here. What's up, bro? How you doing? I'm gonna tend to agree with you because, and with a lot of players on this team, not just Daniel, almost everybody on the offensive side of the ball, it seems, we've been defenders of. We were so big defenders of Daniel Jones last year here on the podcast and on our respective channels that we were called homers. You know what I'm saying? We were called Daniel Jones stands when all we were saying last year is like, it's not fair to judge him off of a beat-up offensive line, terrible weapons, and a scheme that was just straight trash last year. Like, there's no way you could judge a quarterback fairly off of that. That's all we were saying. It wasn't even like we were saying he is the guy at that point. We were just saying this is not fair. You know what I'm saying?
And it's all paying off for us, man, because we were just here like freaking just handling business, defending Daniel Jones left and right.
Same thing with Andrew Thomas, which we'll get into when we finish the DJ thing, and then even Kadarius Toney, which is the most recent example, where it's like, how can you say this guy is a bust? Because there was Giants fans legitimately calling him a bust before he even hit the field. And it's like, look what happens when you get him the ball just 6 times. Just 6 times in a game, you get him the ball.
And get this, he dropped 2 passes. He could have damn near had over 100 yards receiving in his first real game of production. Like, he dropped an easy slant that probably, with his ability, could probably extend another 15, 20 yards. I mean, and Kadarius Toney, man, I said it in my video I just posted today. I know he got a lot of criticism, including from me, about him not being necessarily a prototypical wide receiver. And I said that's okay as long as he performs the way he did against the Saints. Like, that will be worth a first-round pick. If you could take a quick little hitch route or a slant route like Jason Garrett likes to call these smaller routes, I think it'll be perfect for Kadarius Toney because he does a lot of work after the catch. So he can take those easy dump offs and make something out of it, just as we saw as that 3rd and 18 he turned into a first down, which I think was a little bit of a generous call. But, ref still called it a first down. It is what it is as a 18-yard completion. I mean, if he continues to do what he did in that Saints game, that is going to be worth a first-round pick. Mm-hmm. I have my own, kind of questions about Kadarius Toney. I was like, man, do we really want to get this kind of gadget, like glorified gadget guy in the first round? I'm like, I was even thinking about it last week. I'm like, man, he's not showing up. He's not like a prototypical wide receiver. He's not a guy you can throw out there on any route and he's going to go catch the ball and beat the defender. But, man, if he keeps playing the way he is and we keep scheming him plays, that's a first-round wide receiver right there.
Exactly. And, I mean, I think all it is that he was missing all offseason, which, once again, is another thing I had to defend a lot on my channel where it's like it wasn't even necessarily his fault. Like, he's not the equipment manager. He's not God. He doesn't judge when his grandma dies and things where he was out there grieving. Like, some of these things were ridiculous that fans were, like, getting on him for, which was completely out of his control. So it makes sense to me that now, 4 weeks into the season, now he looks like he has some chemistry with the quarterback, 1. And 2, now he looks a bit healthy, just like Kenny Galladay. I think it's very apparent at this point that everybody on our team that had nicks and injuries during the offseason really needed that extra time to recover. You could go from Galladay to Tony to Saquon, basically everybody.
Right, right, and they're all playing well right now. They're all playing well.
Exactly. Getting back to DJ though, which with what you were saying, you're now like fully like he is the franchise guy. I agree with you. And I said this in my reaction video. I was like, I'm not even sure if it's the win talking. Maybe it is. But as of right now, yes, I believe Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback. Whether or not he's our franchise quarterback, I know some people are not gonna like to hear me say this. I still don't know because guess what? We still don't know the faith of our coach and GM at the end of the season as of right now, right? So we got to go and see throughout the season how they basically it's going to be determined by wins. Or can we agree on that? It's going to be basically determined on wins whether the coach and the DGM stay here.
Oh, absolutely. Like if I'll tell you right now, like a lot of people think it's based on Daniel Jones's success. It's mixed with that, obviously, because he's supposed to be
Because
the
we got to
franchise
remember
guy.
what kind of owner we have, guys.
Exactly, and I will tell you right now, it is definitely on wins, and it's not going to be a small win total either. 6 or 7 wins will get them fired. They have to get 8, 9 wins for them to stick around. 6 or 7 wins is not going to cut it for Dave Gettleman. He's gone. I don't know what's in Joe Judge's future. Now, what I want to happen, I don't know what I want to happen, to be honest with you, because I keep going back and forth with this with Joe Judge constantly. I like Joe Judge. He's a great story. I want to see him work out, and I think he would add a great legacy to this Giants history. But at the same time, if Dave Gettleman goes, I don't want another situation where we hire a GM and we keep a we keep a coach around, and then we're flip flopping from there, where we just hire we fire the coach, and then keep the GM, then we fire the GM, keep the coach. I don't want to flip flop. I want to start off clean slate. Now, there's a domino effect when it comes to that. Like Dave Gettleman, I love Dave Gettleman. I'm a Dave Gettleman apologist. Love to say it. But if he goes, I think it will be deservingly so. I'm constantly doing research on these other teams that were in our position a couple of years ago, and they are blasting off right now. Arizona was the most similar team to us by the time we drafted Daniel Jones, and they're 4-0 right now. And they're looking like the best team in the NFC right now. And then the Bengals. Look at the Bengals. They're 3-1 right now with Joe Burrow. There are so many teams that were worse than us, if not, right on our level, and they are progressing right now. We're still stagnant. That's been pretty much the I guess the motto of this team right now is stagnant. The word of this team right now in the past couple of years is stagnant. And if Dave Gettleman is a stagnant GM, then we have to get rid of him. And it is what it is. But I'm very torn with that because I want to keep Joe Judge. I want to keep Dave Gettleman too, but in order for this team to change, there has to be change within the front office. And I don't know what I would want to do there with Joe Judge. I keep going back and forth with it. I want to keep him because I think I think he could be a decent head coach. I honestly think he's not great yet. I think he's good. He gets a lot of people behind him, but when it comes to when it's game time, he's definitely a new head coach. So I think he could progress into that, but I know the front office won't be so patient.
Mm-hmm. First of all, Ash, yes, and I'm sure the chat has already seen it. We're not ignoring your questions. You guys should know how it goes by now. Usually when we finish a topic, I then go and address the chat. We take a couple questions from there. So right when we wrap this Daniel Jones-ish topic up, I'll go to chat. Shout out to Sunday in the chat. Hey, Sunday. What's up? How you doing?
What's up, Sunday?
Engraven in there as well, guys. Go over there and check out.
What's up, man?
Yeah, go over there and check out Engraven's channel. I'm pretty sure he had a vid out on basically there was a couple of NFL-wide moves today. Stephon Gilmore, Jalen Smith, and whatnot. Olivia is in here as well. Yuvraj Singh. What's up, guys? Like I said, we're not ignoring you. Just when we wrap up the topic, we'll get to you. But yeah, what I was saying, which is what KB was expanding upon there. I think whether or not we stick with our coach and GM is gonna be completely dependent on the success the season has wins-wise. Yvette's in the chat as well. What's up, man? So that's why I was saying I do believe Daniel Jones could be a franchise quarterback. I'm just not sure yet if he's ours. I really want him to be ours because obviously we drafted him and I want him to stick here and whatnot. But moving forward, a lot of things are left to be desired. Like, I love this win that we just got, but there's still a couple things to fix, and we'll get into that. Before we do, though, let me, obviously, as I just said, address the chat. So I saw one here. Luan says, if this team stays together next year and stays healthy, we will definitely go to the playoffs. And even this year, what do you think about that?
I think it all depends on strength of schedule. That really takes a play into it too. How hard is our schedule going to be? And I think a lot of I don't think a lot of people really think about that. Is how hard the schedule is going to be. They just think about what the team looks on paper. And I say at the beginning of every year, we could have the what looks like the best team in the NFL, but we can look like a 12-4 team, or what will be 12-5 team. We could be a 12-5 team, but have a record of a 9-8 team because of strength of schedule. So um, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna be a like. I'm not gonna be too high off of this win. It's just one win, and I know a lot of people are excited about it because it's not an NFC East win. It's one we got out of division, which I'm excited about too. But I'm not gonna get jumped too far ahead of myself. Like what Yvette said, he said it went from 0-16 to second win. So we'll see what happens. But as far as this team being a playoff team, I thought they were going to be a playoff team this year.
Hmm.
That's my biggest issue. I can't keep jumping off to next year and say we'll make the playoffs next year. We'll make the playoffs next year. We'll make the playoffs next year because
That
they
was
keep
supposed to be this
disappointing me.
year.
That was supposed to be this year. So if they're not ready to make the playoffs this year, I can't just automatically think they're going to make the playoffs next year. I got to think that there's a problem here that needs to be solved, and it won't be solved on its own.
Hmm. Edward, there's a very short answer to the question. He says, "Do I think the new GM, if there is one, keeps Jones even if he's playing well?" I got no idea, bro. I can't answer that. I really can't.
I would say I would say yes. I would say yes. If Daniel Jones continues to play well, I don't think a GM has a reason to get rid of a franchise guy. Now, does he would this GM have a reason to get rid of a guy that's been waiting to be crowned a franchise quarterback for 4 years? Absolutely. If Daniel Jones regresses somehow and he becomes the player he was in his rookie and sophomore season, then obviously he would be out of there. But if Daniel Jones solidifies himself as a franchise quarterback, that's probably the best situation to be in when you just become a GM in the NFL. You have that weight off your shoulders of trying to get yourself a franchise quarterback. That's one of the most I guess hardest things you can really do as a GM is make sure you hit on that franchise quarterback, because if you screw up, that could mean your job. Look, everybody is talking about Dave Gettleman, and if Daniel Jones doesn't work out, then he's gone. Like that seriously is a make or break thing for GMs. So if Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback, that is one less problem and a big problem that GMs do, that any GM that comes in here does not have to worry about. So I would say, guys, that Daniel Jones will stay if Daniel Jones solidifies himself as continues to be that franchise quarterback we think he is. If a new GM shows up in here, even if Joe Judge is gone, by the way, even if Joe Judge is gone, I think Daniel Jones remains.
Hmm. Kyle Cruz says, "Hub, credit to the Giants, great all around team win, but the Saints did a terrible job down the stretch. Basically, want. Wait a minute. All right, this is all right. The wording is throwing me off a little bit. I'm gonna try and correct it. They basically wanted the Giants to score and make big chunk plays. I guess what he's saying is, while yes, both our offense and defense came up in the clutch, the Saints also didn't perform as well as they should have. I'm guessing. Which I mean, hey, that's usually what happens when a team has a game-winning drive on another team. There are mistakes being made, you know.
We took advantage of their
Yeah.
inconsistency, yes, which is because I'm seeing around the around Twitterverse and stuff like that. The Saints have been pretty inconsistent when it comes to this, and so they're giving up. Like obviously, like that. What game did they lose this season that they weren't particularly happy about? I forgot which one it was, but the Saints have been very inconsistent, and I kind of figured that. But we have to take advantage of their inconsistency. Like I would have hate to be in the team like we've been for a while now of losing to these teams that probably should lose. Like it's all about who makes the most mistakes and who misses all those opportunities. So far that's been the Giants, but we took advantage of that opportunity versus the Saints. So we kind of were at the other side of the spectrum, and we took advantage and we won the game. I mean, so I know a lot of people are saying, well, that's just the Saints being consistent. That's just the Saints being bad. We shouldn't even be happy about it. This team still sucks. Yes, I get that, but we still won the game. We found a way to win the game. That's the most important part. If you can go into every week and find yourself to win every game, then good on you. You don't need to be the best team there. You just need to be the best team in that individual situation, the smartest team in finding a way to get out with a W.
Ash says, "This one is for me. You caught some heat over a video going around on Twitter. What are my thoughts?" I'm gonna need a bit more context on
What
that.
video?
What video?
Oh, what'd you do? What'd you do?
I have no idea, man.
What the hell did you do?
I have no idea. This, yo, that's a
This man got
weird question,
exposed.
bro.
This
Shout out
man
to
got
Logan
exposed.
and Jon Snow Targaryen in here as well. Olivia says, without Andrew Thomas, we got no chance. I agree. He was on the did not participate list today. Hopefully, that's just something where it's like they're just taking it easy. He's gonna be back tomorrow. We'll see what's up with that. I don't know what people are referring to in the chat. I'm really kind of confused on it. However, this is a great chance for me to use the sound horns because if you're tuning in, if you're watching right now, hit that like button, sub up, share up the stream. You already know.
This is a certified hood classic.
Anyway, let's get back to the topics at hand, right? Oh, look at Joseph Clark. He said, how electric did Tony look, which is the next one up. We already spoke on him a little bit. You spoke on what he could do for this team. But Kadarius Toney should not be behind Darius Slayton when Slayton comes back healthy, man.
I agree. I have a feeling that just because I got this slight feeling that the Giants are going to do that anyway to begin with because they're just a classy organization. They got to keep it classy and traditional, and all these rookies need to earn their spots and all that BS. I'm pretty sure Darius Slayton is going to get the first nod to start over Kadarius Toney or even get more reps in the beginning. But as they start to split reps, you're going to see the difference in production. You're probably going to see Kadarius Toney producing a lot more. Now let's get something straight here. They both drop the ball. They both do have drop issues. Like Kadarius Toney had 2 drops this game. So, but that's something I could ignore. That's something I could ignore if he goes out there and do what he did in that 3rd and 18. You know what I'm saying? Like if Darius Slayton could be doing all that stuff, I wouldn't mind it whatsoever. But when you drop an easy touchdown against Washington, I'm gonna hold the grudge against you. So, we'll see what happens, but they're very similar as far as them, dropping the ball and still being.
But the thing is,
receivers.
I could live with it as well because guess what? Kadarius is more than just speed. He has basically, in my opinion, the same speed as Slayton, but he's also agile, which is why he broke so many ankles and he was making so many jukes. And he has just better control of his body. Like that's what he does better than Slayton. Right. He's a more creative player than Slayton as well.
Their speed is very different because Slayton is more straight line speed and he's a burner. Kadarius Toney is more like a sideline to sideline type speed.
That's the agility that I was talking about.
Yeah, that's the agility. Although I know he has speed to go the distance, I don't think they'll ever be using him like Slayton. They won't be putting him on any 9 routes anytime soon. So, in my opinion, I just don't think he's that kind of receiver. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't even matter if they're used similarly. I just want Kadarius Toney to take Darius Slayton's reps. But
me too. And real quick, shout out to Mr. Fishing in here. Edward, I never ignore the chat. Stop the cap. Mark Primetime, Cowboys fan. He says, what's up, guys? It's going to be fun. Clutch Basketball TV. Check him out. I know I'm going to be over there a couple of times during the Knicks season. You know what I'm saying, bro? Because it's about to start in a couple of days as well. And shout out to Joseph Clark for the $2 super chat. He says, we haven't had wide receiver depth like this in 10 years. What do you think about that?
That's absolutely right. Like
because 2 of our starters went down, technically, right?
Right.
And then we substituted them with John Ross and with Kadarius.
Pick and a first-round pick. That's crazy, isn't it? And you know who's on our practice squad? A former second-round pick in Dante Pettis. Mm-hmm. Like it's crazy. The depth we have at wide receiver. Like even going back to 2016 with Odell, Victor Cruz, Sterling Shepard. Even that depth wasn't great because it was very front heavy. But it's looking really good right now, and I'm happy that we have that depth to compensate. And it's something that we knew we needed too. Like it's not something I thought was not necessary because usually when you overload a position, you're kind of like, well, we have so many people. How are we going to play these guys? I knew they were all going to play anyway because they all have injury concerns. Yeah. So it's
Listen, Sterling Shepard was due to come out at some point. It's unfortunate, but he always misses games.
I'm just happy it wasn't for a concussion. Yeah. At that point, you're like, man, this guy might have to retire. You know what I'm saying? So, and I can't believe we were at that point like 2 years ago where we were considering
he was the one considering it, not even us. Yeah. That's why we were considering it, right?
Right.
And shout out to Pest in the chat, PTA Sports. Make sure you guys go over there, check him out. He's most well known for not only his Twitch streams but his hit single Can I? Can I? If for those of you that know, you know. Just like how Pest is known, I mean not Pest. Just like how Ash Money is known for his hit single, that involves eating lemon pepper chicken. All right. So
What
I'm gonna
the
leave it.
hell you guys?
I'm
What
gonna
the
leave
hell
it
you
at
guys
that.
talking about?
Listen, I'm surprised KB is as lost as he is. Let me take a couple of questions from the chat if there was any. I'm going to quickly scroll up and make sure. So now's your chance if you guys want to drop it before we move on to the next topic. Clutch says Slayton seems stiff. Fishing says Slayton belongs on the field. And then Taj follows it up with he's a go route type of receiver. He is, right? But that's why I was saying I feel like Tony is just more useful on the field because of his skill set allows him to be involved in much more than just a nine. You know what I'm saying? And much more than just, hey, go down the field, get open type stuff.
Right. Right. Like, I'm not saying that Darius Slayton shouldn't be used at all. Obviously, he has a role on this team, and he was the leading receiver twice on this team for a reason. I just feel like in this offense, obviously this team doesn't like to go deep a lot, and they tried it, a lot last game. But I digress. As far as the scheme goes, Kadarius Toney definitely fits the scheme a lot better. These shorter routes that you got to stop for the ball and you create yards off the catch. That's pretty much what Kadarius Toney is great at. So I feel like Kadarius Toney definitely fits this offense more.
Exactly. And Olivia, sure thing. Just if you could find me on Twitter or something, hit me up. I'm always down to go on anybody's channel. Silo Ren says, how about Odigizua? I'm going to mess up this name. Odigizua? Please tell me I said it right.
Odigizua.
I can't believe we once had that guy, and now he's doing great with the Cowboys.
Guys, that's his brother.
Yeah, that's his brother, I'm pretty
that's
sure.
Osa Odigizua. Owa Odigizua is not in the league anymore. That's Osa Odigizua. That's balling with the Cowboys, but that's his better and bigger brother.
Exactly.
But, not Osa. That's not Owa.
And now getting to the next topic, we talked about Dan, we talked about KT. Listen, I am very happy to talk about this one because how about Andrew Thomas?
Come on, let's go.
This
yes.
dude is legitimately, through 4 weeks in the season, making an argument as the best. All right, we know he's not, you know what I'm saying? There's still Laremy Tunsil and whatnot. There's still Bakhtiari. But he's making an argument for, like, the best left tackle in the league right now, if not one. You know what I'm saying? One of the best.
Way crazy right now, but
Bro, he's definitely top 10, top 5 right now, bro. Not questionable. Zero sacks,
I'd say he's
zero
close to top
QB
10
hits.
right now. Yeah.
Playing next to
top
4
10,
different left guards, bro.
I feel you on that. I feel you, but remember there are a lot of tackles right now who haven't given up sack. Like you look at what's his name?
Ma, can you pass me a bottle of water and banana, please? What?
You want a banana?
No. They didn't hear that. You did though.
Oh, okay.
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, damn! You muted it. You should have told me. Now you got exposed. What are you about to do, man?
Bro, shout out to Prison Mike for the $2 super chat. He says, "How do we beat Dallas?" Also, no more slander on KT. I completely agree. But KB, continue your thoughts on
Okay. What I was about to say is who the hell? I keep forgetting his name. The tackle now for 49ers that was with the Washington football team. Him. You know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
You're zoned out right now. Okay, I definitely could debate Andrew Thomas in the top 10 right now. I don't think he's top 5 or the best.
Trent Williams? No, Trent Williams is
Trent
on the
Williams,
Niners.
there you go. Yes, Trent Williams. He's probably the best. He's playing the best right now. You said Bakhtiari. You said a lot of these guys that probably haven't given up any sacks yet. Laramie Tunsil. So I don't know. I don't know if dude, you're distracting me. I don't know what.
Yo, just don't look at me, bro. Just don't look at me. Look at my arm.
Why is it? Everybody's part of this joke and I'm not.
Well,
yeah.
Ash left. Morgan Moses is what Lucas says.
I'll leave it. I can't.
Can you name 7? Let's say, can you name 7 tackles that are currently better than Andrew Thomas right now?
Yeah, sure. I just have to be reminded of them. But yeah, sure. I mean, I love my Andrew Thomas, but like, I can't say he's top 5 right now. But let me hit up the allow lads real quick. Let's see here. So, down in let's see. Damn. Let's see.
While he's pulling that up, of course. Why is the chat going so wild, bro? I need to be let in on this joke as well. I'm left out on the joke too, bro, honestly.
You left out the joke, but you asked for a banana, even though they even talk about bananas the whole time?
Bro, because it's one of the most common fruit there is, bro.
Something's going on. What the hell's going on? Why did you eat it like that?
What are you talking about,
What the
bro?
hell's going on?
Can you pull up, bro? Why is the show being off the rails right now? Can you pull up this tackle list?
I can't.
Yo, you good?
The whole chat is going off right now. I don't know what the hell is going on right now.
I'm so confused, bro. I can't.
I don't think you are.
Bro, it's a healthy snack. Exactly. Shout out
He's
to
getting
Olivia, bro.
He's getting his potassium.
Shout out to Olivia.
Everybody, he's getting his potassium. That's all it is.
Mhm.
He's low on potassium right now. He needs it. Yeah. But yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. But I don't know if he's a top 5 tackle right now. I don't even think by PFF he's a top 5 tackle right now. But he's definitely playing great out of his mind.
By PFF,
So.
he's actually the second best tackle in the league, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
And
first
we
best
got-
in terms of pass blocking, and almost every pass blocking stat you could look up from PFF. Yep.
Dude, Ash Money, do it right now because I'm on Twitter half the time I'm on the show. So go ahead and do it right now. I need to know this. But that being said, what the hell was that? This man was trying to be on the low. Oh my god,
Bro, yo, I'm serious, bro. If there's anybody new that tuned into the Young Guns this week, I'm so sorry. We already lost 7 viewers. I'ma chill, bro. We just lost 7-0.
Oh
Yo,
my god.
we were at
Oh
56,
my
now we're
God.
at 49, bro. 7 people tuned out. Let me chill.
Oh my god, that's
I apologize,
hilarious.
guys. I apologize. For those of you that are
This man waited
confused,
until I wasn't looking.
yo, for those of you that are confused,
The
this is
subway.
another reason.
The subway. That's what this is
This
about.
is
the
another
subway?
reason you should be in the Discord. So this is a shameless plug to join my Discord. We have a lot of fun in there, and as you can tell, we're a pretty close community. So join the Discord. The link is in the description.
Oh, very close.
And also
apparently.
follow me on Twitter. So yeah.
I saw the subway clip a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, I think, or maybe a week ago. But that now I
Yo,
remember.
I
Okay, now
legit.
This guy really went in the subway and throat goated a freaking banana in the subway.
Yo, what are you saying? Whoa, pause. Hey, yo, pause. Bro, we had 56 people in here, and now there's like 47. Let's get this back to the Giants, bro. People are done with us, bro. Hold up.
Oh my god.
Let's get it back to the Giants, bro. Andrew Thomas, just speak on his greatness, bro. All right, just speak on his greatness.
And it's your turn. I already talked about him.
Listen, in my opinion, first of all, I want all the praise and apologies for Andrew Thomas to be just as loud as all the hate was. And everybody that said he was the wrong pick. And this is both non-Giants and Giants fans. This is the media. This is straight up everybody. Because let's be honest. It seemed like 90% of people hated Andrew Thomas at 4th overall for some reason. Right? I made a whole video on this. It was the very first We Need to Talk episode where I'm like, people are capping. And I'm sure everybody knows what that means now because of Kadarius Toney that went a bit viral. Cap means to lie. Yo, that's another reason I like KT so much too, because we're like literally the same age. I don't know. I'm sure we got a lot of common interests. But here's the thing. Yeah, so people thought he was the wrong pick at 4th, but he was like the consensus #1 tackle going up to the draft. He was thrown in probably the worst. Maybe you could argue Mekhi Becton was in the worst situation for a starting left tackle. They were the only two, out of that class that actually started at left. Both Wirfs and Will started at right. But not Wills, what's his name? Becton and Thomas, respectively, were both on two of the worst, and I mean the worst offensive lines in the league, with two quarterbacks that performed as some of the worst quarterbacks in the league on teams that were, bad. The Giants were 6-10, but we're bad, and we went up against some really strong pass rushers, right? And then you add into that factor Andrew Thomas's injured ankle that he was playing on the entire year, and him going through two O-line coaches. He made a lot of progress, and I feel like it's progress that should have been seen because there was so much going against him. And then he had a full off season, and he comes out, and here we are 4 weeks into the season where he's literally the most trustworthy person on that line. He's performing as one of the best left tackles in the league. He's played next to 4 different guys at left guard, and he's still somehow making it work. And I will say this, somehow, some way, with Matt Skura playing next to him, what do you think? I think Matt Skura probably looked the best at left guard, obviously other than Nick Gates when he was there. But I was surprised. Would you say Matt Skura performed better than Ben Bredesen?
I think they did a really good job. But one thing I will say, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but I just have to put everything into perspective. I think the offensive line played great. Like Daniel Jones had plenty of time to set up play action downfield and had plenty of time, even without play action, just had plenty of time in the pocket to make the throws that he needed to make. But I will say that the Saints pass rush was so bad. It was so bad. Like Cam Jordan was probably the only good part of that defensive line. But the Saints defensive line was absolutely terrible. But I think they did a really good job. Rob Sale is really doing a really good job with this offensive line. You looked at the past 2 offensive line coaches that we had in Guglielmo and how am I forgetting the other guy's name? I remember
Colombo.
Guglielmo. Colombo, yeah. Colombo and Guglielmo, very Italian there. But the past two coaches have a better resume, I would say, and had a big track record, and they didn't, impact this offensive line the way that Rob Sale is doing right now. And apparently our antics and our nonsense and tomfoolery has earned this channel a membership. So
Not
great
earned,
job.
but shout out to Asia Robertson. She was a member of the channel last year.
Yeah.
Thank you once again for joining. I welcome you back. What's up, Raja? How you doing, man?
What's up, Asia? Also a member of my channel as well. I appreciate that, Asia, supporting the channels. But yeah, this offensive line played great against this Saints defensive line, and I don't know if necessarily Matt Skura played better than any of the previous left guards. I just think the offensive line as a whole played a lot better, and that
Let's give Rob Sale some credit, man.
Yeah, that's
This
what I'm
is an
saying. Rob
offensive-
Sale.
Billy Price, who was our backup center, and then Matt Skura, who was our backup left guard, and the offensive line was pretty good. I think it was really nice.
Hey,
we didn't allow a single
even
sack.
Nate Solder.
Yeah.
Even Nate Solder. And that breaks my heart because I wish Matt Parrott was playing that well.
Mm-hmm.
But even Nate Solder was playing well, and didn't even how many pressures were allowed by the offensive line?
Is there a way
That's
for me? Is that listed on Pro Football Reference?
I'm
Let me
pretty
go and
I'm
check.
pretty sure Pro Football Focus talks about it.
I don't.
But it might
You already
it might
know.
be hard to
I'm
find.
poor. I can't afford the. What is it?
Oh no,
PFF Edge?
yeah, but I didn't know if that was part of the basic statistics.
Yeah. Let me go to Pro Football
'Cause
Reference.
I don't got that either.
I can check for the Saints defense, and what I can try and do is see if they have a game log of the Saints defense, and then we could.
Oh, as far as pressures, yeah.
Yeah. Then from there we can go and see if we could get the amount of pressures. So, and by the way, not to be slept on, this New Orleans Saints defense that we played was one of the best in the league and still is one of the best. It's still top 5 in the league right now by Pro Football Reference. So, hey, we did that against that defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
yep.
Can you just, address the chat if there's any questions while I see if I could pull this up real quick?
I will try my best. I will
Let's see
try my.
here.
You want me to get your super chat for you?
For
You just got
sure.
one.
Please shout
Okay.
them out as well.
Asia Roberson, who just rejoined the Hub's membership. I am speaking on behalf of the Hub. Throw goat in the subway. Asia Roberson with the $5 super chat.
Yo. We just got off of this topic, bro. Like-
Asia Roberson says, Did you see the bet between Cuppers and Mark Holmes and Michael Anthony Wears the Fitness regarding that belt? It's crazy now. Well, I'm pretty sure like if the Giants win, Cuppers keeps the belt and Mark Holmes shaves his head, but I don't know if that's crazy, but That's a bet. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not part of that whole thing there, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, the belt's just gonna keep rotating around because it's not like any which team is just gonna keep that belt. So it's just gonna keep rotating. So they're just gonna spend a lot of money in postage, and that makes me money because I'm a postal carrier. So I'll take it. But
I can't seem to find it. I think I'm literally just gonna look up Saints pressures.
Kyle Cruz says Kidblue's thoughts on Stephon Gilmore on the Panthers. That makes already 2021's best NFL defense. Best NFL defense a lot better. Do I think the Panthers defense is a fluke right now? I don't know. I think that they just had a bad game against the Dallas Cowboys because the Dallas Cowboys have been throwing the ball on everybody and scoring on everybody. So I'm not going to sit here and say that Panthers are having a bad defense. But let's be real here. Every single year, the best defense in the NFL always changes. Every single year. So right now, this is the Panthers' year. You know, they upgraded a lot on that defense, even adding guys like Hassan Reddick in there. And they
got a couple of guys
up.
that I wanted the Giants to draft. Brian Burns,
Exactly.
who I'm still to this day I'm salty. He went with literally one pick before us. Jeremy Chin I wanted last year. They have done a good job of building through the draft, and then like you're saying, getting guys in free agency as well.
Yeah, so they have that great defense right there. You know, they lost pieces in the past, like Star Lotulelei. They lost James Bradbury. They lost a couple of Luke Kuechly to retirement. They lost a lot of these guys, but they still rebounded and got back to it. And adding Stephon Gilmore is insane for just a next year 6th-round pick.
I did not know that. Sunday
ridiculous.
says the Panthers owner is the richest in the NFL. I didn't know that. He's the richest owner in the NFL, David Tepper.
Do they mean from cap space or?
I mean, I've seen that.
I mean, I don't know.
Before.
I don't know if him being rich really, unless he's throwing his actual money to give Stephon Gilmore. I'm pretty sure they use the team's cap. I always thought about that too. I always thought about that too.
He
Owners.
He's
Tepper?
the richest, as in like he is worth $14.5 billion, and then Jerry Jones is 8.9. So it's a big drop off.
Yeah, but what about Robert Kraft? He owns the mac and cheese.
Is it really that Kraft family?
No,
he's only 6.9. He's only 6.9 billion.
People are not buying mac and cheese anymore.
Bro, where is the Maras are in Hollywood?
I guess Velveeta
How are
is really
they not
making a
number
comeback.
one, bro?
Huh?
The Maras, they're in Hollywood. How are they not? They're not even top 13.
Yeah, but they were big once upon a time. You know, I always wonder that though. Owners, as far as cap space, you know how we wonder like, yo, where's this cap space coming from? This team is like negative $5 million, and they just signed a guy to a $20 million contract. Do you think owners are putting their actual like their money into these contracts?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, how many?
That's something we got to think about, man. Because the cap be coming out of nowhere, bro.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, well, it doesn't directly line up like the team, for example, that always cheats the cap every year is the Saints, but they're not one of the richest owners, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why in the world? I'm not seeing the Giants owners anywhere here. But
it's just irrelevant, dude. Steve Tisch, who the hell is that?
Shout out to Ash Money for the $5 super chat. He says, shout out to Cushion KB. I caused my disrupt in the stream now to get back to some Giants talk. And for some reason, the rest of that is like censored out for me. I don't know what it says.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah. But what were we talking? Oh yeah, so the Panthers. Yeah, you were saying how the defense changes every year. The guys that's number one and stuff.
Right. The every year it seems like the best defense in the NFL always changes. So this year is the Panthers' year. I don't think it's much of a fluke. It happens every year. Maybe this year is a little bit of like them being great all year is probably something that won't be in the future. But definitely their defense is picking it up. Oh, if you look at our defense last year, our defense wasn't the best, but our defense was very, very good last year, and it just took a left turn. So that always happens.
And just to answer a quick question I see here, he says we keep bringing in defensive backs. Is something wrong with Aaron Robinson? Yeah, he's still injured. Whatever his stomach / abdominal injury is, he hasn't seen the field. Guys, if you haven't noticed, only 2 of our rookies have really seen the field, and it's our first 2 picks in Kadarius and why am I forgetting? Aziz. No, I was talking about Robinson. He says, what's wrong with Aaron Robinson?
Oh, what's wrong with Robinson? What's wrong with Ellerson? Like, I forgot we even drafted these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I really did.
And then, I guess, let's get to some parts of this team that needs to improve? Because really, the offense was definitely the bright spot, right? Is there somebody else you want to give a shout out to? Kenny Galladay, Actually, yeah, let's talk about Kenny Galladay and Saquon and whatnot. So I said I think the reason they had their best games by far with the Giants this year is because maybe they're healthy. Like, do you think it's that, or do you think it's Jason was forced to use them because his two favorite weapons, it seems, was knocked out? A little bit of both. Like, what do you think it was?
I think it was a little bit of both. That they're just getting more healthy, more so for Saquon, because I feel like Saquon is healthy. I think he's fine. I think mentally, as far as mental health goes, it's getting there every week. He's just trusting his foot more, trusting his knees more, and I think he's building confidence every single week. I'm loving all the moves he's making and starting to get back to it. Kenny Galladay, I think, was healthy to begin with. I think it was just them not really prioritizing him, and I feel like Daniel Jones was just so pressured to get the ball out. He was hitting his slot receivers like Sterling Shepard and dumping it off to the tight ends a lot because of having no time in the pocket. And Kenny Galladay kind of needs time to spread the ball out. But yeah, as far as that goes.
Shout out to PTA for the $2 super chat. He says this stream is, wait for it, bananas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quit YouTube soon.
You come by surprise there.
I'm gonna quit this channel soon, bro.
Just so you know, I'm clipping that.
Nobody's clipping that.
I
People barely clip anything on this channel. It's one of the safe parts of it, man. So I'll say that. But yeah, no. So for Kenny Galladay, I mean, one thing you notice about him is his passion to win, which we've seen in Giants receivers of the past. But do you think he's happy with just one win? You know, there was a picture going around of everybody celebrating in the locker room, and Kenny's just in the back, like with a stone cold look on his face, like a killer. And I'm just like, I like that because like he wants. I
like that. I like that.
More, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I like that, but at the same time, it's not like he's coming from a winning organization. I mean, he's coming from the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I agree with you. But what I interpret it as, I guess, is that he's like, we need to go out there, we need to win until we get a winning record or something like that.
I would hope so, but I just don't want him to like hold a grudge on his teammates because they're not winning and pull a Odell, because at least Odell was like a guy that put the team on his back, and like, I mean, he was like the best player on the whole damn team. Kenny Galladay is great, but like, he's not like Odell. You know, he can't be just sitting there just like, you know, he's not like I said, it's not like he's coming from a winning organization. Not like he was like Calvin Johnson down in Detroit. He was a good receiver, but I just hope he doesn't have that attitude, like this superior attitude, like I'm better than all of you guys, and you guys aren't picking up the weight. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fire, but I just don't want him to take it out on his own teammates.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that's necessarily it either, but I will say this. And once again, we're just from the outside looking in, so this could be just complete hearsay on me, but I want to see, I guess, a bit more camaraderie between him and the rest of the offense, you know, between him and Daniel.
Him and Daniel Jones, yeah.
Like, I mean, bringing back to Odell, I guess, like, Odell and Saquon were great friends. And I'm not saying that he necessarily has that type of close relationship, because like Odell and Saquon are basically brothers even to this day. But yeah, I'd like to see them, I guess, interact more a little bit off the field and stuff like that. You know, build a bond.
Right.
And maybe that would happen as the year goes on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
But Easy Lopez, I agree with you. He says, I wouldn't be happy if my team was 1-3. Kenny G wants the division. We all want the division. You know what I'm saying? But the Cowboys, which I guess, before we actually get right to that, we'll have to talk about the defense real quick. I think it's pretty obvious what needs to improve on this defensive side of the ball right here. We need to get pressure. If we could get pressure,
right,
that could help fix a lot of things for us. But what did you think about the defense in this game?
Listen, there were a lot of times where we were defending them as far as the pass coverage goes. It was nice. It was just that when you get no pressure, there's only so much time you can give a secondary before it breaks. Like, there's only so much time you can cover a receiver well before they start scrambling and it breaks. And we've seen a lot of that with the Saints. We've seen a lot of that these whole 4 weeks so far in this young season. But we need to get pressure. Pressure does a lot. It can compensate for pass coverage. It can compensate for a lot of things. As long as you just get a good pass rush and get the timing mixed up between the quarterback and the receivers, then obviously that goes a long way. And stopping the run. Stopping the run is another one. How many times did we see Alvin Kamara get a 9-yard slash on us? When you get a second and 1 is way more dangerous than 1st down and 10. in my opinion. You could do so much with a 2nd and 1. If you go 2nd and 1, you could play action. You might be defending to stop that 1 yard, but you go deep and get a 50-yard touchdown from there. Like 2nd and 1 is dangerous. And Alvin Kamara had about 3 or 4 9-yard runs on first down that got to a 2nd and 1 constantly. So
tackling. How about let's talk about this tackling on the team that
throughout
all of our games is just missing.
I can't believe I didn't mention that I don't think I did mention that in my recap or did I? I don't know. Taysom Hill, bro. Oh my God. Taysom Hill really manhandled this defense for no reason. And I know Taysom Hill does that. I don't even know where he pulls that strength from. He's not even that big. But Taysom Hill, we could not tackle him. It took the whole team to get this guy down, and even so, he wouldn't go down. We have to.
My reaction seeing him just bulldoze literally the entire team from linemen to linebackers to cornerbacks. It was,
bruh.
That first touchdown was ridiculous.
And he got remember on stream. I was like, oh, Taysom Hill's gonna get another touchdown here. When we got into the end zone, I was like, just our luck, and that's exactly what happened. You know
exactly.
Mm-hmm. I do not have a potassium deficiency, bro. What is wrong with y'all, bro?
Guys, you see what happened? He now has a potassium.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's all I'm gonna say, man. Like, come on now.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all I'm gonna say. And Jalen Smith did sign with Green Bay, and of course, Stephon Gilmore was traded to Carolina, which we mentioned earlier. Is there any other big moves in the NFL that we might have missed? I'm not sure about that. But
any other what?
Big moves that we might have missed in the NFL. But I guess the two basic things or two main things, whatever words you want to call them, two most important things for this defense that needs to be fixed immediately is somehow we got to find a way to get pressure. We got to find a way to just make the quarterbacks uncomfortable off the edges. And Asia, oh yeah, I forgot. You're back for a first time in a while. I got sound effects now on the channel, so that's what you're hearing. But we need to find a way to get pressure off the edge.
What was that?
she was a bit confused.
Oh,
and then of course we need to be better at wrapping up with tackling and stuff like that. Because I think that what we're seeing in terms of coverage will be fixed if we could just fix those two things. What do you think about that?
Right. I think that completely. If you just give your pass defenders just 3 seconds, 4 seconds to cover, consistently, not every down, but consistently, I mean, that can help your DB's stats go all the way up, and pass deflections like that, hurried throws, and all that stuff. You just get pressure on the quarterback, especially from the edge.
Mm-hmm. And now going into Dallas, of course, being actually, I could definitely pull a Pro Football Reference for this because I want to say exactly where they rank in terms of offense, right? I think we all know it's got to be top 5. So Dallas, whoa, hold up. Oh, for a second there, I was looking at defense. I was like, this doesn't make no sense. But yes, Dallas, the 4th overall offense in the league. They put up 1,683 yards. And then in terms of points, 126 points so far in the season. Of course, they have a very potent air attack with Dak, Amari, CD, Michael Gallup. And don't sleep on their tight end, Dalton Schultz now. He's definitely been showing out as well. But what a lot of people, I think, don't realize is that their rushing attack is also very, very good. 2nd in the league. And over the past 2 games, KB, they've rushed for 600 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So, not over the past 2. I mean, so far in the season, they've rushed for 600 yards. So it's like, how do you stop that? Like, what do the Giants and this struggling defense do? Like, what are you thinking here?
One thing I will tell you is that this team, for the most part, has done a good job in the past against Ezekiel Elliott. Like, even going back to his rookie year, I think he's had a couple 100-yard games on us, but he's never killed us. I think the biggest problem is Tony Pollard. We just have we cannot hold the running backs that can break it to the outside and has that end around speed that Tony Pollard has. And what I'm really worried about is the receivers. I'm not even worried about the run too much because Ezekiel Elliott, I don't know why. I'm never really worried about Ezekiel Elliott. It's the pass game, man. Dak Prescott kills us in the pass. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, even Michael Gallup, and freaking tight ends. The Cowboys tight ends, man. Every freaking year. And it's always a guy I'd never heard of before. Like 3 years ago when Blake Jarwin first got in the league, I knew who he was real quick because he had 3 touchdowns on us. Like, ridiculous. So I'm worried about them all. I'm worried about them all, man.
I'm going to go ahead and say I am worried about their rushing attack a little bit because it's allowed Dak to take a step back where he didn't need to pass for like he did in week 1, 50 attempts. I think for what was it, close to 400, 500 yards or something crazy like that in week 1. He's taken a step back because of just how effective their run game has been. And man, oh man, I am worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how we're going to stop them. I actually don't even know if we can stop them. We just got to slow them down somehow. And I think ultimately it comes down to us scoring first. That way we don't fall behind. That way we can run the ball if we score first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And shout out to Authentic in the chat. I think if you tune in, guys, go over there, check out his channel as well. He says, got off with Big Pat. Check out Big Pat as well. He said, I had to stop through and say what's up to the Young Guns. What's up, man? How are you?
What's up?
But yeah, so I don't know. What do you think about that? I don't know if we could necessarily stop them, but if we could score first somehow and then try to control the clock through the run, what do you think about that? Or do you think it might come down to a shootout?
I think it's gonna be the way it was the last series we played with Dallas Cowboys, and I think we're just gonna have to survive in a shootout. Of course, it's gonna be pretty much whoever can stop the opposing offense more. And although I do like our chances in a shootout, not to necessarily win the game, but compete. Yeah, that's exactly what Authentic says. Got to get to an early lead, set the tone. You can't take any chances here. You can't be going for field goals at the 5-yard line against this Dallas Cowboys team. You really have to go for it all and start taking risks. And I hope Joe Judge learned his lesson. He was playing conservative last game in the first quarter, and they wound up missing a field goal that should have been a chip shot. But they should have went for it nonetheless. So, as far as that goes, you have to get off to an early lead. You have to set the tone early, and you're gonna have to survive in the shootout. And the defense definitely needs to be on their game to try to get some stops here and allow this offense to work. Because I honestly, this is the only time I really have real faith in Jason Garrett and game planning against the Dallas Cowboys, because he hasn't led us to believe anything different when we're facing the Cowboys. So I like it. I like our matchup, and I actually think we have a good chance in this game.
And this is true. I got this from CJ last night. He's the one that brought it up on the call-in show. CJ called in and dropped a lot of gems about the Cowboys. They're indeed 27-0. They are basically undefeated when they run the ball more than Dak passes it. So that's another reason I also want to try and contain their run game, because it's a proven formula that's worked for them, obviously, over the course of several years. Listen, I think I agree with you. I think Pollard is the guy I'm going to look to stop more and try and slow down Zeke. If we can do that, we have a really good chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But who needs to step up on this defensive side of the ball for us, in your opinion?
Man, on the defense side of the ball, definitely all of the edge rushers. All the rushers, matter of fact. Leonard Williams had himself a good game against the Saints. Don't let the stats fool you. He only has 1 sack on the season. Leonard Williams did a great job. Of course, Alvin Kamara killed us in the run, slashed us 9 yards, like freaking almost every time he touched the ball. But Leonard Williams really stopped a lot of those runs that could have went a lot further, had some pressures as well. I mean, he was getting there. But I want us to get to the quarterback. I want to disrupt the timing. I want to kill drives. I want to get to the quarter. I know we love pressures. I know we love quarterback hits, but I want sacks. And I want consistent pressure, and that's going to help the defense as a whole. It's not about, James Bradbury needs to play better and, or Dory Jackson needs to cover better, or Jabril Peppers. Just get to the quarterback, and all of that will fix itself. Pressure the quarterback, and it will all fix itself. I have faith in the secondary that they can cover for an average of 3 seconds. If we can get that, if we can, get a pass rush within those 3 seconds, maybe 4, disrupt that timing, and get to the quarterback early, there should be no reason that this secondary struggles.
And that's another good point that Nate brings up as well. We struggle in getting off the field on third down. Yeah, because we can't really even get pressure on the quarterback when it comes to third down and fourth down. Our guys run up to the offensive lineman, and it's almost like they get stonewalled. It's crazy. At what point do you give a shot to a guy like Quincy Roche, who's, I think, is he either on the practice squad or buried in the depth chart? Because
I think he's on the 53.
Who's the biggest disappointment right now? Is it Lorenzo Carter, O'Shane Zimmer,
Lorenzo.
both of them?
Lorenzo. O'Shane, I expect this out of. I expect it. I said it on Young Guns a bunch in the offseason. I expect little to nothing from O'Shane, and that's exactly what we're getting. I don't care about O'Shane Zimenez anymore. I think he's a complete a waste of roster space right now. I want to give Quincy Roche a chance, man. We loved him coming out of the draft. I was very excited about us keeping him. We still have Trent Harris on this practice squad.
Oh, that's
so it's not
another
like
name right there. He built
exactly.
his way
So
up to try and get
I
a
want to
spot.
give these guys a shot. I know a lot of people have this stupid loyalty to players that were starters. When you got a player struggling, you got to give other guys a shot, especially the younger guys that have somewhat proved themselves in the offseason and the preseason, like Quincy Roche with the Steelers actually did pretty well in those preseason games. And Trent Harris did well for us in the preseason game. So I want to get these guys a shot, man. Ocean Zimenez is just wasting a roster space for us. I know he has some good plays on the run this season, but none that really deserves of applauding and saying he should start. Lorenzo Carter's been a disappointment so far this season. It's really sad when Azeez Ojulari, who's never on the field, is like the leading sack guy right now with 3 sacks and has a forced fumble with it. I mean, it's sad to see, honestly, because he's not consistently out there all the time. And just seeing these guys out there, like, why am I constantly seeing Austin Johnson chasing the quarterback out of the pocket? Are you telling me none of our edge rushers could shed a block and chase a quarterback out of the pocket when he's on the run? Why are we leaving a 350-pound man running after a quarterback on the run? I don't know why that keeps happening, but I constantly see it every single game. And Austin Johnson seems like our best pass rusher right now. But
I'll tell you this, in terms of Austin Johnson and Danny Shelton's been a disappointment for sure. And Austin Johnson is definitely the better of the two.
And he's not been doing good stopping the run.
Exactly. So it's like another guy. You brought up Trent Harris. When do we give Raymond Johnson a shot at getting in the game?
Oh, that's a name. Here's the thing, though. He's playing the position that Leonard Williams is playing, so it's going to be hard for him to get reps because Leonard Williams is playing. He's playing. There's no reason why you put
At what
Raymond.
point, KB, do you shift Dexter just to nose tackle and then have Raymond up there opposite of Leonard?
See, if you do that, you might have to put. It depends on where you want to put Raymond Johnson because you can't put both. I mean, in certain packages you can, but it's not. In the 3-4, people just think that, those 3-4 defensive ends only play in the 3 technique. They shift a lot. Like you saw Leonard Williams, he plays the 5 technique a lot. So I don't know where you would want to put these guys at. If you could put Dexter in the nose tackle. I think he's good there. I think he could play there if you wanted to put a package like that. But then you're going to have Leonard Williams in the 3 tech or the 5 tech, or you're going to have Raymond Johnson in 3 tech or 5 tech. I mean, you got to decide. So I don't know. Unless you have a package where you got the nose tackle in the middle, you have those 3-4 defensive ends there in Leonard Williams and Raymond Johnson, both in the 3 tech, and then you have 2 of the outside linebackers outside. You're kind of giving up like a 5-2 front. You're kind of making a 5-2 front there. You don't have to blitz all those guys. You could drop back a linebacker, but then you got a linebacker in coverage, and I never really liked that too much. So it's hard when you do a 3-4. It's not as straightforward as a 4-3. But I see what you're saying. Get these guys a rotation, see what they can do. I don't even know,
especially to see what you can do part.
Exactly. Just see what you can do. Throw them out there. Of course, we're coming off a win right now, so now is probably not the best time to start experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
Probably go with what works right now. But obviously, this edge rushing unit is not working.
Because guess what? When do we, once again, another nail in the throw out there, when do we shift Carter from inside back to outside and see what he can do like we did last year?
Yeah.
When do we get Cam Brown back out there and see what he could do just like we did last year?
Here's the thing that's going to delay that is the injuries on the inside. Blake Martinez going down is a huge loss. And so they're probably, running around with their chickens running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to see who's the best 2 guys we can throw out there to compensate for Blake Martinez. Reggie Ragland's been out there a lot of the time. Reggie Ragland's really, exactly the player I thought he was going to be, just inconsistent. He made a lot of the good plays this season so far where he was able to stop the run and even has some passive defense too, which is not his forte. But he's also given up a lot of, missed tackles and passes and stuff like that. So Reggie Ragland's been all right. Tate Crowder's been okay. It's just like we're not getting good consistency there. So I want to see Cam Brown and Carter Coughlin go back out there because you saw that Seahawks game. They were really going off together. But I mean, it's just going to delay with the injuries to Blake Martinez.
What about with Cam Brown? Because he's always been an outside linebacker for us. Just like with Quincy Roche. You know what I'm saying? When do we throw these guys back out there?
That's what I'm saying. I would probably put Quincy Roche out there before I put Cam Brown, but I see exactly what you're saying. I mean, just put somebody out there to try to change up this rotation a little bit. O'Shane's doing virtually nothing. Lorenzo Carter, I'm gonna keep giving him a shot just because who else do we have? You know what I'm saying? But I want to keep giving him a shot, and I also want to give more reps to Aziz. Why is Aziz not getting a lot of reps?
I think he's
the most productive.
I was gonna say I've used the phrase "at what point" so much now, but once again, when does Patrick Graham and the defensive coaches say, you know what, he's proved himself, let's just kind of give him as many snaps as we could comfortably give him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up Aziz's Pro Football Reference right now and see what his snap count is, his percentage in snap count is.
By the way, Mark P and shout out to Aryan in here. Yes, I literally saw that right before I went live. That's kind of sad, man. Sterling Shepard got a divorce. Him and his wife divorced, I think.
No
today
way.
Or yesterday. Yeah, bro. They've been married for what, like 3 years or something? 4 years?
No
they
way,
have a
they
kid
got
together.
a divorce, bro.
They got divorced, bro. That's so sad
was
to see.
the young hot couple out there, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
That was like everybody aspired to be them, bro.
Exactly, bro. Yo.
And
they were great, man.
His girl was pretty good looking, bro. Know what I'm saying? His girl
Slide in, but listen.
Nah, but they would always. I follow Sterling Shepard, and they always posting together and stuff like that. How they got? Man.
Always stuff behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Man.
Always stuff behind the scenes.
I've got the Aziz Ojulari. Man, that broke my heart right there. You just broke
because
my
guess
heart,
what?
man.
No, we really do have to take stuff like this into consideration. Almost a blessing in disguise that Shep is not healthy to be on the field right now. Because guess what? Now he has legitimate time to process whatever may be going on in his personal life.
Exactly. I mean, the Nate Solder situation really affected his play too. The situation with his kid.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I joked about it a lot last year. All right. But even though I joked about it last year, I do think it's a legitimate thing. Right before the season began, when Daniel Jones' girlfriend broke up with him, I was like, hey, man, you never know what that could have an effect on his mental psyche and stuff like that.
Who would break up with Daniel Jones? That's the real question.
I don't know, man.
I mean, the man goes balls deep. Get it? Because he throws the ball deep.
Shout out to a bet in here. I'm just going to say he's capping. He did not buy that banana in 2016. Whatever banana it was, I buy my own bananas, all right?
He buys his own bananas, guys.
Okay.
Come on. But Aziz Ojulari, his snap count is disheartening. He's taking just about 50% of the snaps. He had 37 in against New Orleans. That's 54%. He had 50% even 31 snaps on defense against Atlanta. Against Washington was his career high so far in 45 snaps. That's 63%. And then his first game of his career against Denver, only 34 snaps, 52%. So he's only on the field just about half the time, and he's the leading sack edge rusher right now. So the leading sack pass rusher right now. So I mean, do what you want with that, guys, but he needs to get more playing time. There is no reason at all. Like, if Leonard Williams was an edge rusher, then I would understand, because he's the $20 million edge rusher. I mean, $20 million pass rusher. He has to be on the field. So he has to take snaps away from somebody. That person would be Raymond Johnson. So I'm not worried about that. Why is Aziz Ojulari not getting on the field over a guy like O'Shane Ximines? So I don't understand that at all. And I don't think nobody can defend that. There's not much defending there when it comes to that.
Well, keep on with the defense. Somebody that got injured during the game, and we learned about this afterwards, and not sure what his status is for the Saints or any games following. Jabril Peppers with the hamstring injury. How do you think this affects his defense? If he's out for a couple of games or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna keep him out. I know he didn't practice, right? He didn't practice in the walkthrough. Yeah. It was a walkthrough though, so let's keep that in mind. So maybe they're just hey, this practice isn't really that important, just a walkthrough. So I don't know if he's gonna be sidelined. And Jabril's another guy where he's bound to miss some games. Jabril's another guy. He never plays a full season. So as far as that goes, I mean, I don't mind as much just because we have safety depth. Like Julian Love will just come in, and I guess they'll move Xavier McKinney to Jabril's spot. Julian Love probably play deep or whatever the case may be, but they'll figure it out. But I'm not too worried about that because we have safety depth.
And then Justin, that's a pretty funny one. But Asia's saying, are you bummed out about the Yankees, KB? As y'all
I'm
know, I'm a very casual Yankees fan.
I'm very casual, and I couldn't care enough. I mean,
I,
I don't care.
I'm very casual, but I'd say I was very sad. But I was picked up because guess what? I'm a really big Knicks fan, and the Knicks won their first preseason game. So you know what I'm saying? We starting off on a good foot with the New York Knicks over here. All right.
Listen, guys, I love the Knicks. I do. I don't give a damn about basketball when football's on.
That's true as
I'll
well.
be honest with you.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
be
I'm
honest
gonna
with
keep it
you.
real with you
As
there
much
as well.
as much as I always try to watch basketball when I can because I do love the sport. It's too much on my brain to balance those two sports the way I do. Because when I get into a sport, I get into it. Freaking analytics and all that crap. You know, I'm focused on the NFL. It's hard for me to get into basketball during football season, but
Yeah,
trust
I
me,
don't.
after football is done, I'm on to basketball, and I'm
Yeah,
biggest Knicks fan.
exactly. I was about to say like Christmas game is really the only game I really or all the Christmas stuff around that time is the only week I heavily watch basketball when football's on. And whenever the Giants season finish, I hop right over to the Knicks and start watching as much games of them as I can.
I wish I could care about the Yankees, and I could always say I'm a Yankees fan, but I mean, let's be real, I'm really not. But my whole family is, they're diehard Yankees fans. But I mean, I don't care for baseball. I really don't. It's boring. But I feel for everybody that loves baseball. I try to watch baseball. I love playing the sport of baseball. I can't watch a game of baseball. Just
Oh, you
can't
play?
do it. Huh? I mean, I've played in like school and stuff like that. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
But nothing crazy. But I'll play it. In the park with a bunch of friends and family. I'll play baseball all day. It's fun, but I can't watch a game of baseball, man. I can't do it. I'm just looking at the innings like, please keep going. Please end the game.
And guys, get your questions around. We're about to take more questions here. Miguel says, "What do you, with a capital U, guys, think about the former first-round tackle we added to the practice squad in Isaiah Wilson?" I believe we've given our thoughts basically
Yeah, we
on
gave
our
that
channels,
last.
but not.
That was like the
last
biggest.
week?
Yeah, that was like the biggest topic we had. That
No,
was
we
like
didn't have
the
Young Guns
title.
last week.
No, that was the week before. We talked about
Isaiah Wilson's
Wilson
been
last
2
week.
weeks.
Yeah. No, Isaiah Wilson was last week. We didn't skip out of Young Guns last week. It was 2 weeks ago we skipped out on Young Guns.
Was it? Why am I
Yes.
so confused? Anyway, but yeah, no, I guess to give them a refresher, I really liked it because almost like poetry or something, or in a sense of irony, the phrase that slipped my mind that I want to use right now, when he issued his apology sort of to the Titans, to the NFL, and he made it clear, his agent made it clear that he's looking for a second chance. I literally, I retweeted, I was like, I want Isaiah Wilson to be a success story because of how young he is. You know what I'm saying? You look at his background, he's from New York, he's from Brooklyn, so he's not that far from me. He's not even that far in age from me, so I really already want him to succeed just off of that, like, I guess metaphysical bond I have with him or something like that, whatever the word is. It's like a hometown thing. And then it's like you realize that even when he was going through his problems, he was just a kid that had a whole bunch of money, didn't know how to spend it, and definitely did not have the right people in his corner. So I really just wanted him to get a good second chance, take the ball and run with it, because he was also pretty talented coming out the draft. You know what I'm saying? He went 27th overall, I think, to the Titans. He was a tackle that was going to go in the late first or, somewhere in the second round. He's somebody that I don't know. I just wanted to get another chance and do something with his God-given talents and size. Like, he's a humongous dude. And literally a couple days later, he signs with us. So if it works out, man, because we have him, it's a literally no risk type of deal. If it works out, we literally find our right tackle of the future. And in poetry, it's going to be the same right tackle that Thomas played with at Georgia.
Yeah, like I said, it's setting up to be a really good story, and I hope it works out. Same thing with Joe Judge, it's set up to be a really good story, and I hope it works out.
And then let's see here. Kemba Walker, Knicks playing on Christmas Day. Yes, we are. We're playing the Hawks.
Oh God, I'm looking forward to that one.
We might stream that because guess what?
Oh, hell yeah.
We might do a back-to-back stream, bro, because we have Christmas. Yeah, we have the Eagles that Sunday and the Knicks that Saturday, basically. So Knicks on Saturday, Giants, Eagles on Sunday. That would be a pretty fun
Hawks,
weekend.
I'm out for blood, man. I'm out for blood.
100%. Hey, man, Trae Young is he's a great villain, bro. He's a
Yep.
great villain. I'm gonna tell you that.
That freaking rat.
A lollipop with hair stuck to it, bro. A wet
Naked
lollipop
mole
that
rat
dropped on the carpet.
with a patch on his head.
Um,
Oh man.
Let's see here. Nate says, "What position do you play, KB?" It's in his name.
I think he's talking about baseball. I didn't play like on a team in school. I said I just played in school. Like we would set up some baseball and play baseball. I don't have a position. I never played it like for real.
Joe
But,
says,
yeah.
"Who are our offensive and defensive MVPs for this Sunday's game?"
Defensive, it's hard to really put one. Nobody really played great. I guess the best I would say is probably Leonard Williams. I'll probably give it to Leonard Williams. James Bradbury had a really good interception. That's pretty much it. They played closer to the line, which I liked. But defensive, Leonard Williams. Offensive, I mean, Daniel freaking Jones, bro. Daniel Jones. I mean,
For
Saquon
this
Barkley
Sunday?
did a really good job as well.
For this
this
Sunday.
Sunday. Oh,
Okay.
this Sunday.
Yeah, that's what they're asking for. Basically, Dallas. I'm
Oh,
pretty
I
sure.
think you said what? Like okay.
Okay, so
And,
restart your
prior
answer then
game.
for Dallas going.
Okay. So Dallas. For Dallas, I want to give it to Daniel Jones again, but that'd be too boring. I'm gonna give it to Saquon. I'm gonna give this because Saquon kills the Cowboys. Let's be real. Saquon kills the Cowboys. So I'll give it to Saquon and defensive. Oh man, it's gonna be hard for defense because their offensive line is playing a lot better. So I don't envision this pass rush doing much. Our linebacking core is beat up, and our secondary is gonna get torched. So, defensive. Let me just be a default person and say James Bradbury, just because that's my safest bet.
Your safest bet.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Leonard Williams, but Dak Prescott does such a good job inside the pocket and moving around and getting out the pocket. I don't know if Leonard Williams is going to be effective. Like, I don't know what it is. Leonard Williams cannot shed a block and chase a quarterback down.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's not like he is a big dude. That's not his job.
He's a bigger
that goes
dude,
back
right?
To
Not
being
his
the
job.
edge rusher's job.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, I really can't see Leonard Williams being that much of an impact against Dak unless Dak stays in the pocket, which I don't envision him doing. So, I'm going to give it to James Bradbury. He's probably going to get torched a couple times, but I'm going to let James Bradbury be James Bradbury and say that his skill overcomes the scheme that he's playing against.
Before I give my answer, actually, what do you think about the Cowboys' defense? We talked about their offense, but their defense definitely a great improvement from last year.
Better, but it's not
I would
great.
say they're an opportunistic defense is the word I used to describe them.
Yeah, like Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs is playing out of his mind right now. I mean, 5 interceptions in 4 games, in the first 4 games. Like, not just a random 4 games. 5 interceptions in the first 4 games is absolutely insane. Like, the man is on pace for like over 20 interceptions, which is crazy. But Trevon Diggs is playing great, but I don't see anybody else. I mean, somebody mentioned earlier that Osa Odigizua is playing well. I don't think he's playing well. I think he's playing well.
They're
for a
using
rookie.
Micah Parsons all over the place, and he's doing good.
Oh, Micah Parsons is killing it right now. He's killing it right now. So their defense is a lot better. Do I think it's anything to be that necessarily scared of? Like every defense has star players. I mean, we just face a defense with star players. Marshawn Lattimore is like one of the highest graded cornerbacks in the league right now, and Kenny Golladay torched them. Like these guys are gonna be like highly graded star players everywhere. Every defense you look at, you just can't be afraid of it. Nothing really scares me about them. Micah Parsons is probably gonna have a couple of good plays.
Diggs is a big cornerback, but I should expect that that if Jones throws to Galladay's way and Diggs is in coverage, I'm gonna trust Galladay.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna trust Galladay. And listen, let's try to break the streak of Trevon Diggs. He has literally
I was about to ask you, do you think he gets an interception?
I will say no.
Okay.
And I will confidently say no. Like, although Daniel Jones is not he's not excluded from throwing interceptions just because he just doesn't throw it. He's gonna throw an interception, like his fault interception at some point in the season. Let's be real, guys. He's not gonna play the whole season with just Hail Mary interceptions. He's not. That's not gonna happen. Let's be real. But I don't think with how safe he's taking care of the football, he knows Trevon Diggs has 5 interceptions. He's not going to take his chances against Trevon Diggs. He's going to take his chances against some other Nashawn Wright or something like that. He's not going to take, or Jordan Lewis if he's still around. He's not going to take his chances against Trevon Diggs. He's going to be safe. But I don't think Trevon Diggs gets an interception on Daniel Jones. I think the streak breaks. And if the streak breaks, people are going to see that. But Daniel Jones is the freaking GOAT, bro. Let's go.
Ash Money does bring up a good point. He said every quarterback has thrown for more than 300 yards going up against the Cowboys.
Beautiful.
That is part of what I
Beautiful.
was saying, where it's like, well, that's because they've made most of their teams play from behind, where it's like they got to throw, which is what we have to avoid. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, there's no one set game plan that's gonna win us this game, obviously, but I just really think we gotta avoid being in a hole early, because I am
Oh, especially
confident.
against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I was about to say I
Especially
am
against the
confident
Cowboys.
that with the Cowboys, if you get in a hole, they're gonna continue to lay on the points.
Because
You're not gonna
here's
have
the
like
reason.
you're not gonna have that first quarter we had when we're like, oh my god, it's the end of the first and it's 0-0 against the Saints. Like I don't think that's happening.
Here's the reason why I really fear the Cowboys offense, and that's why I was gushing about the Cowboys offense last season. I was called a Cowboys fan.
You are a
Here's
Cowboys fan.
Sure, but here's why I am that afraid of them, because there are like two types of offenses in the NFL. Sometimes they're mixed, and in this case they are. But there's two types of offenses in the NFL. Ones that are big, go deep type of offenses that just spread the ball downfield and take deep shots. And then there's the teams that run the clock out on you and then wear you down and then, hit a big run for a touchdown. The Cowboys are both of those teams. Like, the Cowboys can beat you in any way they choose. They could either throw it 50 times to CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, and Cooper, and even Cedric Wilson. They could throw it to those four guys all game, or they can just run you down with Ezekiel Elliott, and then he'll break off a big run and kill your defense that way. Like, the Cowboys set up their offense to be in a position where if you shut down their run, they're just going to pass on you. If you shut down their pass, they're just going to run on you and move down the field methodically. Like, that's exactly who they are. You cannot afford to go down early against you. If you're down 10-0 in the first quarter, wrap it up. Wrap it up. You either are just going to get blown out, or you got to try to find your way to get back late in the game, because they're not going to let off the gas pedal again, especially against the Giants, especially against a division opponent. They're going to be playing harder.
Mm-hmm.
And that means we have to play harder. The Giants have to play harder, and you can't afford to be down 7-0, 10-0 in the first quarter, because you're really going to have a hard time getting out of that. Even though their defense is not that great, they're going to be playing with leverage.
Do we finally fix our red zone issues this week?
Against the Cowboys? No. What,
Why do you say that?
offense?
Yeah.
Offense?
Offense, yeah.
Oh, offense. Okay.
Because even though we scored this against the Saints, like two of them were not in the red zone. Like we're still struggling in the red zone.
I would say we don't fix our offensive problems in the red zone yet, because Micah Parsons is going to be all over the place in the red zone. There's a shorter field to work with. The defense has the advantage there, especially if Micah Parsons is there.
You really think him? And I know he's having a great rookie year, but you really think he's that much of an impact on the defense?
Because who's gonna run in the red zone? I mean, Saquon is not Saquon right now.
That's where I disagree. I think he is now there. Wouldn't you say he's now there? Like you saw the way he looked at the end of the game.
I liked it, but I mean, say we're at the 5-yard line, right? And we run a power O to the right. I mean, is Saquon gonna run? Is Saquon gonna be scared?
There are runs that
blockers,
work though from that distance, because that's how we won the game. What was it, from the 6 or 7? And
although that play worked in that overtime touchdown, although it worked, it was a run from the gun from like inside the 5. That is such an ill-advised freaking run that any good defense would really. I mean, Saints are a good defense. I don't know how the hell they didn't. You're not going to get that all the time.
But that's the point I'm making, though. It works with him. It's not like he's completely null and void in the red zone. Right. I mean, we've seen him on the goal line twice in his career.
I know. I get that.
To get to it.
I get that. I'm not gonna say our red zone offense is good. The linebacking core in general for the Cowboys is really good. Like and that's where linebackers really shine, is in that red zone, because you got a shorter field to work with. They're the field generals there, not the safeties and the cornerbacks. They just got the boundaries.
So if we score,
there.
You're saying it's from outside the red zone.
No, we could score from the red zone, but I'm not saying our red zone offense is gonna be fixed. Like, I'm not gonna say every time we're in the red zone we're gonna score. That's not what I'm saying. Maybe we'll get a chance to score like a one touchdown if we maybe 1-4 in the red zone. I'll say that.
We've been 1-3 for the past 2 weeks, I think.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna change.
So then, if we're to do anything to stay in this game, and hopefully we all praying for the win, then we're scoring from outside, is what you're saying.
We could do that, or we can pass, or we can set up those rub routes. That was something that Odell was really good. Odell's not a big dude, right? He's 5'11", 201 pounds. I know he was like 197 when he's playing with us. Okay, Odell, how they would scheme Odell open when he was with the Giants in the red zone, like in the Saints game, that 52-49 loss. He had rub routes go, like, he was set up on the outside, had a slant inside, and had an out route going above him. Design different route combinations to get your receivers open in the red zone situation, because obviously going one-on-one is very risky. When you throw those one-on-one balls, very risky. Kenny Galladay's there for a reason. Throw it up to him.
I was
Set
gonna
up
say,
rub routes
if
for
we
Kadarius Toney.
if we get to fix our stuff in the red zone, it means we use guys that we signed to help fix it, which is Galladay and Rudolph, which we haven't seen yet.
Exactly.
We
Galladay,
haven't-
Rudolph.
This man doesn't
and
have a touchdown with us yet.
even like, you don't have to be big to be effective in the red zone. A guy like Kadarius Toney, who is very shifty, can move around in the red zone. Whip routes are one of Kadarius Toney's specialties, and it works a lot in the red zone. You get the freaking rollout going left, and you whip route to the right, and something Justin Jefferson did a couple weeks ago as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a huge wide receiver either. There's ways you can scheme up your wide receivers and scheme up your tight ends to pass into the end zone. The Giants are scared about doing that because we just like purely run rollouts from the red zone. That's it. We don't really do much other than that, or we just run it from the gun, which is so ill-advised. But I want to say our offense fixed itself in the red zone, but I can't say that this week. I can't.
Asia OGR actually called into my show. I think it was last week, not this week's calling episode, so he's doing just fine.
Nice.
KB is in Florida, basically. She says we'll part. Big Blue in the Bronx. What's up? Go
Central.
ahead. Central Florida. Alex, what's up, man? How you doing? King Tone, what's up? How you doing? Silo says, I pray when our guys run it out near the goal line. With our red zone percentage, it's bad. Miguel says, then we don't stand a chance in this game if we can't score in the red zone. Dallas's defense is bend, not break. So kind of like us. But they're more opportunistic and aggressive than us. That's why they get turnovers.
Yeah, but the thing is, their safeties suck. How many times did we go deep against them last season?
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily need to score from the red zone. We just got to make big plays, something that we did in this prior game against the Saints. And their safeties are pretty damn good. So if we just have opportunities like that, like we said it in that live stream last week, I'm more scared about the Giants scoring from the red zone than I am like when they're at the 50-yard line. Like I think our chances are better from the 50-yard line than the freaking 10.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as we just keep the vertical plays going, a guy like if Darius Slayton plays, a guy like Darius Slayton, even Kenny Galladay, he's not the fastest, but he's bigger and he can catch those 50-50 balls. Kadarius Toney could take one to the house. Saquon Barkley could take one to the house. Like, there's a lot of guys with explosive play potential that I'm not banking on us scoring in the red zone constantly. I think we can make explosive plays.
Shout out to Talking Sports with Landon here and Ravon from Virginia. He says, if we use DJ's legs in the red zone, we'll score. And you know what? I agree with you because it seems like no matter what, every team keeps sleeping on his legs in every single part of the field, not just the red zone. From 50 yards out, from 10 yards out, it just seems like teams don't care about the fact that he could run sometimes.
Right.
Alex says, defense needs to step up big. Haven't seen a lot of folks talk about how the D needs to improve. They're the key to win. We spent a good amount of the show talking on that. I completely agree with you, where it's like tackling and pass rush is basically, if we could just get better production from both parts of the defense in terms of that could fix a lot of our problems, even though it is our main problem.
And one thing I will say, like I said, I keep saying this every single week, our secondary is not bad. I really think it's a mixture. And of course, they're not perfect, right? They're not perfect. They're going to get beat. I think it is really a mixture of the pass rush being bad. And so they're spending more time trying to cover those receivers. And I think the soft zone is really putting them at a disadvantage off the bat. Like we're seeing like 1st down and 10 and we're lining up behind the 1st down marker. Like we're giving them 10 yards of freaking cushion. Like how do you expect to stop a play like that? I don't understand. So and Adoree is fast, but damn, man, but so I think our secondary is pretty good. It just, the pass rush and the scheme needs to get better. But yeah, yeah.
And thank you, Joe. He says, great show, guys. Thank you for tuning in, man. Thank you all for tuning in. If you like what you see, every Wednesday we alternate channels. This week's on mine, so next week it will be on KB's. And every Sunday we call the game also alternating. So this Sunday we will be calling the Giants versus Cowboys game. It will be on my channel. Then next week, Giants versus Rams will be over on KB's channel. Now that the Young Guns is kind of lined up, it's basically with whoever channels the podcast is on that week is whoever it's going to be on
Yeah,
game.
it should be like that, right?
Yeah, I think before we took the break, it was
opposite.
switched.
Yeah.
So
Works out.
it works out now. Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna end it out right here, guys. I'm gonna say thank you to all you once again for tuning in. You already know what it is.
This is a certified hood classic.
Yes, sir. Hey, get this man some potassium.
Listen, I'm good on potassium, man. But guys, that'll be it for tonight. Shout out to everybody in here: Asia Roberson, Ligma, Ray from Virginia, Sunday, Talking Sports with Landon, Miguel, Edward Chan, Joe, Ravon, King Tony. I'm scrolling up: Nate, Pest, Authentic, Ash, Lucas, everybody that was in here, man. You guys are amazing. Super Taj Roll, Kyle Cruz, Ben Wynn, Salo Ren. Thank you all for tuning in. That's it for now.